Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Good Morning Games. My name is Jason,
Hello, this is Alex.
and today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about the new game announcement from Nintendo. We're going to talk about their fiscal report for this previous year, and then we're going to talk about a little bit what we're thinking for the holiday, what could be coming up. So, just to start, let's talk about the game that was just announced. I think it was last week, Game Builder Garage. What do you think?
Yeah, came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. The aesthetic is like kind of strange.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a Labo game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are saying that like this looks like something that definitely would have been part of the Labo line had
Hmm.
that sold better.
Yeah.
But it looks awesome. Like this is why Nintendo is Nintendo because they release stuff like this.
Yeah, I don't want to put words in somebody's mouth, but I think it might have been Jason Schreier said something along the lines of whenever he had heard about this game in the past, it was internally called like Labo number 5 or something
Oh,
up
nice.
until this was announced. So it clearly was supposed to be a Labo thing, and then they were just
Yeah.
like, you know what, that those aren't selling very well, so let's just make it its own thing. And it's awesome. I mean, it's $30, so it work. I mean that works. It probably would have been $60 with this Labo kit, and
Yeah, you
you
pay
know,
an extra 30 for the cardboard.
yeah.
One thing I noticed watching the trailer, like right off the bat, is there's a brand new logo for Nintendo programming,
Oh,
like at the
really?
beginning of the trailer.
I didn't notice that.
Um, yeah, and I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think they've ever used that logo for anything before.
I'm gonna check it out.
Shows it's like the regular Nintendo logo, and then a finger drags like a dot and a line from that to a box that says
Oh,
programming,
yeah.
kind of like the mechanics of the
Oh,
game. So I don't know if they're planning more stuff in this series, like, or if they're just throwing this, like, I don't know, maybe they'll have Nintendo programming books or like videos online or like any of that stuff. That would be really cool if they decide to do that.
yeah. Looking at it now, I did notice that, but I guess I didn't even. I just was thinking. I don't know. I didn't even think of that as like a
Yeah.
new logo, really. Um, Yeah, so one thing that I think is really cool about this is uh the fact that there's guided lessons that are like make it more like a game. If you look at the website, it
Hmm.
kind of says like it has lessons almost in like a level order, and they teach you to build specific types of games. And I just think the coolest part is the tagline of like build games from the minds at Nintendo, because like everyone knows Nintendo makes such awesome games. So if they're creating these lessons, it's obviously going to be really a fun, creative way to make these games.
Yeah, that's the biggest draw for me is like lessons like from you learn from Nintendo game designers. That's unbelievable. That's
Yeah.
really cool that you could have like access to that for $30. Like that seems like top secret stuff that like they would never want to share, and the fact they turned it into a like $30 game is just amazing.
Yeah. I've never really been, I know you are more than me. Like, I've never been the most to sit, I don't have the patience to like sit down like with Mario Maker and like build out a really awesome level. I've always been someone who just plays games more. But if they
Hmm.
do it in this way where, they kind of have lessons and it seems more like a game as you learn, I'm definitely
Yeah.
more likely to do it then.
Yeah, it's not just like here's a blank canvas, figure it out. It's like here's a
Yeah.
guided like thing, so you're
Yeah.
not just like overwhelmed by the like whatever the amount of options you have. And yeah, I don't normally like I got Mario Maker and Mario Maker 2. I loved them both. I think a few maybe like two or three times with each one I would sit down and spend the entire night like making a level, but yeah, other than that, I just liked playing other people's levels, and I hope you can do that with this. I don't know if they even said
Yes.
that you
So
can.
it's codes. So it says you
Ah,
share codes, but
freaking friend codes are back, baby.
yeah. So that's really annoying. But then again, I mean, it hasn't said if like because I think that there was codes with Mario Maker 2, right? But it was still
Yeah.
like there was still like a chart of like the best levels.
Yep.
So maybe there'll still be that, like the top games or something.
Yeah, I
Um
would hope so.
I can't. I was listening to some podcasts and they were talking about this, and I remember mentioning that it might not. The only reason it might not be um, completely easily shareable is because there is that where you can draw, so you can like draw your characters, and
Mm.
with Nintendo people could be drawing dicks, or
Yeah.
excuse my language.
Yeah. If you could do anything, like if you can draw anything, Nintendo will be on you so quick.
Yeah.
I remember there was some stuff, some community features like that in Wii U games, I think on like Mario 3D World, where you could draw pictures and leave them on the overmap or the overworld map or something.
Yeah.
Am I imagining that, or was that a real thing?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. And yeah, people would just get banned left and
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I remember that. Yes. Yeah. So honestly, when the trailer started, I was kind of like, oh, this is cool, whatever. But then they almost passed over, like at the very end. All of a sudden, all these games for like 10 seconds come up, and
Yeah.
because at the beginning I'm like, oh, cool, like you can make like Mario style levels and stuff like that, where really basics. But then they had like, I took note of all the different things they had. They had a shoot 'em up. They had a baseball game. They had that game where you're a truck picking things up. They had a card game, a fighting game, soccer, a racing game. So, I mean, it sounds like you can do just about anything. I mean,
Yeah, I really liked the one where it's like a 3D game and you're a tank and there's like a giant robot thing you're shooting at with the tank, and there's a
Yeah.
couple helicopters flying in the back. That looked fun. But yeah, just like the variety of styles of games you can create with this thing is really cool. Like, especially because it seems so accessible. Like it seems like something you could just pick up and start going with, especially if there's guided lessons.
Yeah.
But like the end product that you end up with is surprisingly deep, it seems like.
yeah. And I mean, if they do have that, like a top chart of like the top rated games, I mean, even if you don't like making levels, then you got 50 little fun mini games to play at your hand. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's
worth it
sick.
alone.
Yeah, we're gonna get going on Prime 4 here and beat Nintendo.
Yeah, we'll beat them. It might not be good, but
I also saw you can use a USB mouse with this, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a new thing for the Switch.
yeah, that's really cool. I saw that too.
Yeah.
Um,
Does that mean you have to like plug it into your? I guess you could use a cordless one. I don't know why I'm
Ye-
thinking of a corded mouse.
no, yeah, yeah. It's 2021.
Yeah.
Um,
Whoops.
But yeah. So, anything else about that?
No, it looks cool. Comes out June 11th.
I'm definitely gonna get it. And again, I think $30 was a really good choice. I probably wouldn't have gotten it for $60. Maybe, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'll definitely get it for 30.
With Mario Golf coming out 2 weeks after, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm gonna play it for 2 weeks and then be like, okay, it's golf time.
Exactly. So I can fork over $30 for that, and then we'll see.
I also think it's cool that they just announced this out of nowhere. Wasn't it like last Friday
I
night
can't
or
remember.
something?
I can't remember
Thursday
what
night?
day. It was in the middle of the day. It was like 3 p.m. at least our time. Yeah, I guess we're West Coast, but
Yeah, and I kind of feel like they announced it just to free up. Like they didn't hold on to it. They're like, here, we have a game coming out 2 weeks later, but maybe the back half. This is pure fandom speculation. Maybe the back half of the year is so packed that we cannot fit
Yeah.
Game Builder Garage. That's me just hoping that Nintendo goes crazy at the second half of this year.
yeah, I mean, the fact that it's June 11th, which I think is the day before or right around E3, so they clearly made like a conscious decision that this is going to come out before E3, and then because
Yeah.
of that, they can't really promote it much there or to get advanced, so they just kind of drop it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was cool though. I like that they've been doing that more, just announcing things like a month in advance, because I have ADD, and knowing I only have to wait a month for something is nice. So next, we're going to talk about the Nintendo's fiscal investors meeting happened last week, and so they kind of came out with all the sales, all the game sales, all of the Nintendo Switch sales, and so we're just going to kind of talk about a few of these and kind of what they mean. Do you want to go over some?
Sure. Yeah. So the Switch is selling very well, as everyone I'm sure listening to this is probably aware. It's currently at 84.59 million units sold through its first 4 years, which is just wild. It passed, it's selling faster than the Wii did, and it's selling faster than the PS4 did.
Mm-hmm.
It's surpassed the 3DS in sales. And it absolutely crushed the Wii U, obviously, which only sold like 13 million units. It's getting very close to the Wii. The Wii's at 101 units, so passing the Wii's lifetime sales in year 4, or I guess year 5, is
Mm-hmm.
very attainable. I think it's going to pass the DS. Honestly, the
Yeah.
DS is at 154 million units sold, and it's Nintendo's best-selling system.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think again, that is, the 3DS is separate from the DS. So the DS itself is 154. The Switch is like over halfway there, and Nintendo has come out and said like the Switch is halfway through its life cycle. We're gonna get a revamp. We're gonna get a Switch Pro, Super Switch, whatever. Probably like 10 more colors of the Switch Lite. Probably
Yeah.
100 more Joy-Con. And who knows what the Switch Pro different iterations will look like, but
Yeah.
it's got enough gas in the tank to definitely overtake the DS.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I remember when I'm gonna guess maybe 2 years ago, when the Switch was just still doing well. I mean, it's done well since it came out, but I remember looking at these sales from some other one of these reports and being like, "Oh, it's never gonna get past the Wii." But clearly,
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know enough that it can just sell more every year. I always think like, oh, it's probably past its best selling year, but it's getting more and more every single year. They said, the fiscal year of 2021 earnings were up over 80% from fiscal year 2020. So that's pretty crazy.
Obviously, the global pandemic probably had a lot to do with people staying home and wanting things to do at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that it's still selling as well as it is just wild.
Yeah.
It took it over. I don't know if I mentioned this. It's outsold the Game Boy Advance.
Yep.
Which is pretty sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you look back at Nintendo's older consoles, Super Nintendo 50 million about, NES 60 million about, N64 33 million, GameCube 21 million. I mean, those numbers are nothing compare. I mean, and everybody knows what those are. They're popular, home video game consoles. Seemed like everybody had them when I was a kid, but the fact that the Switch is like 2 or 3 or 4 times that's crazy.
Yeah. So with the Switch alone, the Switch itself sold 28.83 million units just this past year. So that's more than what you just said was for the entire GameCube, right?
Yeah, the GameCube was 21.
Yeah, and
Total.
so it sold 28 this year. So that's really nuts.
Crazy. That's good though. That means the revenue's up, the profit's up, and hopefully they're pumping all that money back into software development to keep the thing going.
Yep. And just staying on hardware, and then we'll go to software. But they also made a projection. So 2022, right now they're projecting 25.5 million Switch units is what they're predicting, which is down 11.5%. But they did say that was really just because there is a chip shortage right now. And so if that gets kind of fixed, they'll bump up what they expect, because they did that last year too. I remember they predicted something at their financial meeting, and then like a couple months later, we're like, never mind, it's going to be higher than that. So
could you imagine being at the top of a company and being told like you're going to be held back because of a chip shortage?
Yeah.
Like, you're in the 5th year of your hardware. It's selling through the roof, but sorry, you're gonna have to slow down. You have to throttle that because there's a chip shortage. So you're not going to sell what you could because of this outside event taking place. So that sucks for them, but also it's amazing for them that it's still doing that well.
Yeah, definitely. So then just talking about software itself, just a few notable things. So Super Mario 3D All-Stars sold just over 9 million units in this 6-month period that it existed. So,
God.
you know, that was definitely what's the word? That was definitely people kind of buying out of fear. It worked.
The FOMO.
Yeah, there you go. FOMO that it's going to go away.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked because that's a crazy amount for 3
What
technically
was it?
ports.
September through March it was available.
Yep.
Yeah.
So sold 9 million. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury sold about 5.59 million units, which is pretty good for a game that was out on the Wii U. But really, the crazy thing is, so Animal Crossing has now sold 32.63 million copies, which is nearing, I believe, it will end up being the highest selling Switch game.
Maybe.
Well, I mean,
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has anything to do with it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's already at 32.63 in 1 year, and Mario Kart's at 35.39. So I would think it's gonna.
I mean, I agree. It probably will be the top, but
which is nuts.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold 10 million the past year.
That's nuts.
And that game came out in 2014 on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And now, so a Wii U game has sold triple the amount of units as the Wii U itself.
Wow. That's nuts.
Yeah.
And another thing that was I thought was pretty crazy. Ring Fit Adventure sales have topped 10 million.
That's great.
Which, I mean, that's a lot for a fitness game. I mean, clearly that was 1000% due to not to take anything away from it, but that was the right time. I mean, so many people were at home. I bought it specifically because I couldn't go to the gym anymore, and I played it every single day for like 4 months, and I literally beat the game I think 3 times. I for sure beat it 2 times, all because like you beat it and then it's like, oh, hard mode or something, and I beat the whole thing again.
Wow.
And I think I quit doing my 3rd time through. I was like, I'll just do some push-ups. like I can't do this anymore.
I got it too. I really like it. I think they'll keep expanding on that probably. I mean, over 10 million, you can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Definitely. They'll probably put the dragon guy in Smash next.
Yeah, that would not surprise me, honestly. Or just the Ring Fit guy.
Yeah. Ringu or whatever.
Yeah. A couple other little facts. The Switch now boasts 22 first-party titles that are million sellers, which is a lot. Nice. I mean, for like a lot of third-party companies, I mean, if you can sell 1 million, that's usually pretty good. I remember when Octopath Traveler came out, they sold like 1 million, and they were like, that did good enough for us to like keep working on this series. That was all that they really wanted. So 22 games that have sold over 1 million is awesome.
One thing that I saw on the list is Breath of the Wild is at 22.28 million sold. I want it to be higher. I want more people to play that game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I'm pretty sure it's like almost double what the second highest selling.
It's like
Zelda
the best game
is.
of all time. Just come on, people.
Now I want to look at Zelda game sales because I'm pretty sure the second highest one is like half that.
Oh, probably. Yeah, I mean, Link's Awakening's at 5 million, the remake. Yeah. So there you go. Like, it did extremely well. I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm just saying it's such a good game that like I want it to be the highest seller. But I completely understand why something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Animal Crossing's at the top.
Yeah, so the second highest Zelda game is Ocarina of Time at 13.82, but that's it. But that's taking into consideration the 64 version and the 3D version.
Wow.
So those individually are like 7.6 million and 6.22 million. So,
and those games are considered popular. So that just goes to show you like these numbers we're talking for Mario Kart and Animal Crossing, like those are insane numbers.
Yeah. And the only other thing I would say that I thought was pretty interesting was digital sales, at least in Q4, comprised 49.6% of all of their revenue. So it's about 50% digital.
Okay. I think that's probably just going to go up
Yeah.
uh, every year.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is Switch is doing amazing. It's still selling. All the games that they put out are still selling clearly because a game from just this past year in Animal Crossing is almost one of the biggest sellers. And so the last thing I thought was interesting about this is so they did say how much software they're expecting to sell this upcoming year, and they said 190 million software units, which is about 17% lower than 2021, but that's still pretty high.
Yeah.
Um, and so, I mean, I think that just kind of leads us to talking about what we're going to talk about next is, you know, what do we think? What do we think is going to be that big holiday game? Because right now, the biggest thing that they have really around the holiday is that the Pokemon remakes of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Hmm.
But those are remakes, and I don't see those being the big holiday games. It is not out of the realm of possibility, but I don't see it.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell you what I want it to be.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I think we're gonna get some kind of Zelda, another Zelda port like Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Kirby. I think we're gonna get a new Kirby game, and then uh October will be a new 2D Metroid. November will be Breath of the Wild 2, and December will be those Pokemon remakes.
Yeah.
Some
Um,
combination of that.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's got to be something big. Obviously, we're hoping and thinking Breath of the Wild 2. Although now that I'm thinking about it, at the same time, this is technically the fiscal year, so this does go through March, is
Mm,
when they're expecting that. And I wonder if I really wonder if that Pokemon Arceus is going to be make it for this fiscal year. They said early 2022, but
yeah.
I I I feel like they either Breath of the Wild 2 or that Pokemon game. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
awesome if they both come, in a 3 month period of each other. But I feel like both of those are going to be huge sellers. So I almost feel like it's one or the other.
Yeah, I could definitely see them holding on to one a little longer to space them out, especially because Arceus looks so much like a Breath of the Wild type game.
Yeah.
Like they probably don't want to flood that genre. Nintendo just has so many things, so many games. There's so many rumors, so many signs. Like, um, I just released a video this morning about Metroid and what could be going on there. A lot of people are saying Prime Trilogy HD or a new 2D Metroid adventure for later this year. There's rumors about a brand new, like full on 3D Donkey Kong game that
Mm-hmm.
is rumored to launch Donkey Kong back into the forefront of Nintendo mascots and like make him extremely relevant again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would come out this year, but people are saying it could be revealed at E3. Obviously, Breath of the Wild 2 is like, I feel like that domino has to fall first, and then other things can kind of happen around it.
Yeah.
And then, like I was saying about Kirby, HAL Laboratory said at the end of last year that there will be new Kirby games in 2021. So, and we haven't heard anything about that yet. I expect them to just kind of announce it for August or September this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that Donkey Kong game after everyone was kind of talking about that, and the rumors were kind of going everywhere. I mean, if they wanted to, if the expectation with the game is really to get them back in the as one of the it used to always kind of be Zelda, Mario, and Donkey Kong's kind of went away a little bit. If they want to, and their expectation is to make this huge, I mean, you never know. It could be a really big game that could be one of these holidays, if not this holiday, the next holiday.
Hmm.
At least that would give it attention. It would be really unfortunate if it doesn't sell what they're expecting, but if they had push that as their big holiday game one of these years, it has the chance to. And if it's something like an Odyssey, that would be awesome. I would like to see 3D Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah, and the rumor is the Odyssey team is doing it.
Yep.
So obviously, I think the quality will be there. Yeah, it just depends on if people want that. But either way, I hope that is true. I haven't wanted a game that bad since they the rumors of Star Fox Grand Prix were going around. Like I really wanted that to be a real game.
Yeah, me too. And that made me think. I mean, we think we're gonna get it. I know this is not off topic. Do we think we're gonna get a Star Fox game here on the Switch at any point here?
I think it'll be
Everybody's taking their turn.
yeah. I don't think it's this year. I mean, we'll get one eventually, but it's not going to be this year. Maybe next year, but we already have for next year Pokemon Legends Arceus, Project Triangle Strategy, and Splatoon 3. All already like 3 great games already for next year, and we also have the undated Bayonetta 3, and obviously Prime 4 hanging out around there,
Yeah.
which I think still think is a 2023 release. But yeah, Star Fox, it's gonna happen at some point.
I hope so. I hope that
There's so many. Nintendo's juggling so many balls in the air right now. Like they got. I just feel like I keep hearing all this stuff like 10 Zelda games, 3 Metroid games, like new Donkey Kong, Mario Kart 9, couple new Pokemon releases, Kirby. Like there's so much. I hope this year, the second half of this year, is just stacked.
Yeah, I mean, God, I hope so. Even just to, yeah, we gotta get Metroid. I just want Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest game I want is Breath of the Wild 2. I told you, like, I went back and watched the 2016 and 2017 trailers for the original Breath of the Wild, and those are the best trailers for any game I've ever seen. Like, it gets me so hyped up just to play that game, and I hope we get a new trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 here pretty soon, so I can start getting hyped up again. Yeah, I don't think they have any shortage of games in development or coming out, and I think I hope it gets back to that cadence of like in 2017 they had a new huge game every 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get back into that territory with everything that got pushed out of last year.
Yeah. I hope so. And yeah, you talking about that trailer just made me think. I agree that was the best trailer I've ever seen, and I mean it's exciting to think that. I mean, I'm almost sure we're gonna get another one of those this E3. I mean, they have to have a trailer for it, and if it's coming out in the 9 months following it, I would think it would be that big. I mean, we need to know what the game's about. And it's like, we think we know, but we have no idea. Like it could be, we really have no idea about anything.
It's a puzzle game. It's a puzzle fighter.
Yeah.
Online only.
Yeah.
Friend code.
Yeah. You make it on Garage. Whatever.
No, it's not going to be that. But you're right. We don't know anything about it. And I can't wait to hear more about it, honestly.
Definitely.
Anything else for year-end releases?
No. I guess we can talk about what have you been playing?
Oh, I was going to ask you real quick. What'd you think of the new Waluigi render?
Yeah, looks beautiful. I like the new Waluigi. I'm thinking it's just from the golfing game, Super Rush.
Yeah. It's an out of control render. Like it's really strange.
He is the weirdest character of all of their characters.
Yeah, he's like holding a rose, licking it with his tongue, or throwing his tongue at it and sticking his ass out. It's a really strange render.
Yeah, Waluigi is always very like oddly sexual.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. And I think in Mario Tennis, didn't he have like some kind of move involving a rose?
Yeah, whenever
like
he did his like
power.
big shot, he like pulled the rose out of his mouth.
Yeah,
he's just a lover.
Yeah, this is probably related to a special move in Mario Golf Super Rush. And I don't think it's anything to do with a Waluigi standalone game or anything like that. But just something I wanted to call out because it's pretty freaking weird.
Yeah, but just thinking about that, it's like everything's coming up soon here. We got E3, and then pretty quick after that's Mario Golf, and then pretty quick after that is Skyward Sword, and then who knows what's after that? We'll learn at E3.
It's gonna be Kirby, another Zelda, the Pokemon remakes, 2D Metroid, Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, I can just about
And I'm gonna
guarantee you there's
Never
something.
leave my Switch.
I can just about guarantee you there's something else that we have no idea.
Probably.
Like one
Yeah.
of those things isn't happening, and there's something else that could be just as amazing because you can never fully predict what they're gonna do. There's always there's always something that you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Hopefully it's that Donkey Kong game.
Yeah. Hopefully it's this thing we predicted.
Yeah.
You can never predict them.
No, there will be something. So you asked me what I'm playing right now.
Yeah.
Playing Resident Evil 8.
Nice.
I bought it on my PS5. Played it for a few hours Saturday morning, and then got kind of spooked, and I was like, it's just a stressful game. Like, it just stresses you out when you're playing it. I played for 2 hours, and I was like, that's enough of high stress levels, so I just put it down and haven't picked it back up yet. But it's really good. It's incredible.
So how long did you play for?
About 2 hours.
Are you is it all in the house or are you outside? Because I've seen trailers where they're outside. Like what's taking place?
Okay, so there's a bit of a mini mission intro. So some minor spoilers here. If you don't want to hear any spoilers about Resident Evil 8, feel free to skip ahead. But you start at your house, actually, like with your wife and infant daughter, and it was kind of creepy. You start the game, you have to put your infant daughter to bed in her crib, like, and then she gets kidnapped, and then you end up like waking up in this like wreckage in an Eastern European village, and there's all kinds of creepy shit happening. You encounter some villagers. So you're outside and then running in and out of these little shacks that there are sometimes people in. One guy gives you a gun, and then he gets taken by a lichen or a werewolf, whatever you want to call it. And then you like see all these other dead bodies, and I'm not explaining this very well, but you run around this village, and it's a very action heavy opening mission, I guess you could call it, or whatever. Opening portion. You're just trying to barricade doors and stay alive from all these lichens, which take a surprising amount of ammo to take down. Like, you got to shoot them a lot. And then eventually it calms down, and you are outside for a bit while you try to find these 2 stone crests to open a door that gets you into the castle.
Okay.
And then the castle is like, it's like a fourth, that tall lady, Demetresque or whatever, the meme lady, she is one of 4 like bosses, mini bosses in the game prior to the big boss. So she's not even like a main part. She's 1/4 of the game, basically. And the castle is like 1/4 of the game.
Got it. Yeah, that's all I was really, I wasn't sure how much of it is actually in the castle or not.
Yeah, like the castle is really impressive. It looks so good when you're just walking through and like looking at stuff. It looks so good. If you want like a next gen or current, whatever you want to call it, like a next gen big game that looks good and has action and is just fun, like this is definitely it.
Nice.
And yeah, it's a really good game. Just like it trains you from the second the game starts, like to just be stressed out. Like,
sounds great.
Yeah, and because it's first person, like compared to older Resident Evil games, at least in my experience, that makes it more stressful.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's really good. And
Nice.
I've also been playing Pac-Man 99.
Nice.
And went back to Tetris 99 a little bit.
Nice.
So that's about it.
Sweet. Well,
what about you?
I got back on Twilight Princess. I'm gonna finish it. I know
Nice.
last week I said I had stopped. So this weekend I got back into it, and I am right now, literally as soon as I hit stop recording, I'm gonna go beat the boss of this dungeon, and then I think
That's right.
and then I think I'm at the final castle. So
Wow.
I'm in the last dungeon, and I just got the boss key. So then I think I'm pretty sure after this dungeon I'm at the final castle. So I will beat Twilight Princess tonight or tomorrow night.
What? It's been so long since I played that game. What portion of that game are you playing as Wolf Link?
Okay.
Like what percentage?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've liked it more this time, and this is actually something I'm thinking I might do a video about this.
Oh yeah, you got to
soon.
do a video
Because when I played it when I was young, I mean, it's not even like I was young, and I also have played it, and I played it probably like 6 or 7 years ago again. So this is my third time playing it, but I remember always thinking I wasn't crazy about the Twilight Realm, and I wasn't crazy about being a wolf, but it's really only like the first 3 dungeons, which is like in Ocarina of Time, you go to those 3 as the kid, but then the game really opens up. And it's really just those first 3 dungeons where like you're forced to be a wolf, and then you kind of go back from being forced to be a wolf and then forced to be a human. But then after you beat those 3 dungeons, you just switch. You can switch whenever you want between a wolf and and you're not in the, because the thing I wasn't crazy about, I don't really like that Twilight Realm. I don't really like the super dark, and like the noises are like creepy, and I remember it's not even that I thought it was like creepy. I just like, I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of it. But it's not.
I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared.
Yeah. It wasn't creepy. I just didn't like it. It's not as much as I thought it was, and I've liked it better this time. And I actually like a few of the dungeons are some of my favorites. Like I don't know, I've liked the dungeons a lot more in this one than I thought. So I liked it better. I think it's gonna go up in my rankings. I always had it a little lower than most people, but it might jump one. We'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna make a video on Twilight Princess as soon as I finish it, maybe next week or something.
Cool.
Yep. So besides that, that's all I've got. Anything else?
No, I mentioned last week I was playing Oracle of Seasons. My 3DS has not been touched since the last podcast. It's still sitting on my desk on the charger and on for some reason. So I will hopefully get back to that and have a good report for you. Oh, I beat Donkey Kong Country 3 finally. I fired that back up and finally beat that on the Switch online service.
Nice.
So yeah, I did that, but no, nothing else. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
I went to a flea market / swap meet the other day, and got on a stack of discs at this one guy's this vendor's stand. I bought Link's crossbow training for $3,
and that
never played it.
Yep, I've never played it, but that sounds like a steal, and I would have 100% bought that.
He was like $3, and I was like, sold.
Yeah.
And I don't even have my Wii.
I was just gonna say,
I gotta go back home to get it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah. Sweet, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play Link's crossbow training. I have no idea what that goes for on eBay. It's probably like $3, but whatever. I mean,
that's a great deal. So even if it's not,
yeah.
And I've also been playing sporadically, still playing Pokemon Snap. But honestly, Pokemon Snap is probably one of the better games for just picking up, playing for 5 minutes, putting it down, and not feeling bad about it. Like, you know what I mean? Usually when I play a game, I feel like I gotta fully focus on that game for right now. But I don't feel bad about that with Pokemon Snap. I can just go through a course 1 or 2 times and then come back to it again and do it later. So I'm still enjoying it. I'm just not playing it I'm not sitting down for hours at a time and playing it.
Yep, totally. Same. I'll run through a course or 2 and then put it down.
Yeah, which probably the ideal way to play it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Again, we are Good Morning Games. Make sure to subscribe and give a like to this video if you like it, and follow us on Twitter at GM Games Podcast, or send us an email if you have any questions at goodmorninggamespodcast@gmail.com. And send us any. Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, okay. I was just gonna say we got a Nintendo eShop giveaway going on the Twitter right now. So you can go check that out and try to win some eShop cash. And I just dropped a video about Metroid at E3 2021 on our YouTube channel, so please be sure to go check that one out if you are interested in Metroid.
And we all know you are. Thank you guys for listening,
true.
and we will see ya.
We'll see ya.